welcome to my channel. My next request is 21 Pilots, and the name of the song is Car Radio. This was requested by Destini on the 3rd of July of 2025. And Destini writes, the lyrics in this video can be interpreted many ways. Enjoy. Well, you know, it's 21 Pilots, so if you're not familiar with them, they're a two-man band, just two men, and they make a lot of sound and they make very interesting music. So it's going to be fun watching this one. Before we get into it, though, I got to thank you for coming and thank you for your support. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the comments, the subscriptions, the requests, most of all for the comments. Thank you very much. I always put the artist links in the description of their playlist so you can support them as well. But I put the link to the song that I'm reacting to in the description of the video. I also put a link in there from Wikipedia if I can find anything that makes any sense and is relevant. I don't put the link to the reaction request form though, because I'm not currently accepting new requests. I've got over 2,900 in my queue already. I've got to take care of those. But I'll live stream on Sunday at 4 p.m. UTC on Rumble for 3 hours. So if you come to Rumble on Sunday at 4 p.m. and you put a request in the chat, I'm going to react to it live. So this is 21 Pilots, Car Radio.
I ponder of something great. My lungs will fill and then deflate. They fill with fire, exhale desire. I know it's dire, my time today. I have these thoughts so often I ought to replace that slot with what I once bought. Cause somebody stole my car radio and now I just sit in silence. Sometimes quiet is violent. I find it hard to hide it. My pride is no longer inside. It's on my sleeve, my skin will scream, reminding me of who I killed inside my dream. I hate this car that I'm driving. There's no hiding for me. I'm forced to deal with what I feel. There is no distraction to mask what is real. I could pull the steering wheel. I have these thoughts so often I ought to replace that slot with what I once bought. Cause somebody stole my car radio and now I just sit in silence. Ponder of something terrifying, cause this time there's no sound to hide behind. I find over the course of our human existence one thing consists of consistence, and it's that we're all battling fear. Oh dear, I don't know if we know why we're here. Oh my, too deep, please stop thinking. I liked it better when my car had sound. There are things we can do, but from the things that work there are only two, and from the two that we choose to do, peace will win and fear will lose. There's faith and there's sleep. We need to pick one, please, because faith is to be awake, and to be awake is for us to think, and for us to think is to be alive. And I will try with every rhyme to come across like I am dying to let you know you need to try to think. I have these thoughts so often I ought to replace that slot with what I once bought. Cause somebody stole my car radio and now I just sit in silence. I just sit. You know I just sit in silence. You know I just sit in silence. You know I just sit in silence. You know I just sit. I ponder of something great. My lungs will fill and then deflate. They fill with fire, exhale desire. I know it's dire, my time today. I have these thoughts so often I ought to replace that slot with what I once bought. Cause somebody stole my car radio and now I just sit in silence.
Wow. So, you know, first of all, the creativity is off the charts. Who would even think of doing a video where you shave your head? And then they must have waited months to finish it because he had hair at the end, which is really strange. He had to have grown that hair back in. And then to do it in a crowd, you know, at a concert. Really, really creativity. It's tremendous creativity. But the song, you know, it's like if you've ever had anything stolen from you, it's a feeling of being violated, of your personal space being intruded on by an unwanted and uninvited visitor. And it can generate all sorts of emotions. One that comes to mind easily is anger. You're really, really angry because you've been violated, just completely without your permission, you know? And when he sings, I sit in silence, is he silent because he no longer has the radio? Or is he silent because he's trying to control his rage about the radio being stolen? It's a very interesting song, very thought-provoking. But the performance of it, the filming of it, and all of what was put into making this, just creativity off the charts. And that's what 21 Pilots is. They're very creative, very almost wanted to say avant-garde, but I don't think that really communicates it well. Very edgy, very boundary busting. They're just a very fascinating group. They really are. Anyway, before we move on to the last one for the day, I do want to thank you again for coming to my channel and for spending time with me. And I want to thank God for taking care of you in every way possible so that you have no needs. You don't need health because you already have it. You don't need prosperity because you already have it. You don't need protection because you already have it. And I pray that for every person that you love as well. This is the Vietnam era vet, out.